Part of the design concept for the Universal Aero Kit was to allow the future use of a driver protection windscreen. Now this prototype is making its on-track debut here at ISM Raceway. It's made by PPG from their aerospace division out of a material called Opticore. That's used in fighter aircraft canopies, and those canopies have to withstand an impact of a 4-pound bird strike at over 400 miles an hour. Now, some other lessons learned from those canopies: this needs to be a constant radius to eliminate any distortion from the view. So if you get a side angle look at this, it almost appears as though this is cut from a tube with the same radius. Now, aircraft don't have the same sort of issues that IndyCars do with debris. So how are you going to keep this windscreen clear? Well, the technology is very similar to what's used now on the helmets. These tearaways a driver grabs to give clear vision. Now there's a tearaway on the windscreen for the same purpose. So my question was, well, can the drivers remove those? The answer is yes, physically, but you wouldn't want to do that because look at the size of this tearaway. If that was on the racetrack, that obviously would pose a risk for safety. Now, aerodynamically, the windscreen has very little effect on the external aerodynamics of the car. But internally, it does have an effect, because imagine now the air is not pressing, not hitting the front of the helmet, the visor, and therefore you lose that pressure, and computer modeling says that there is pressure behind that tends to move the helmet forward somewhat. But that same computer modeling says there are provisions that can be made to minimize that effect. Now let's not lose sight of what this prototype test, no pun intended, is supposed to be about, and that is optical clarity. And I can tell you, sitting in here statically in this light, you can tell it's here, but it is very clear and appears to be distortion free. But don't take my word for it. This is going to be in the capable hands of Scott Dixon to evaluate the optical clarity in full sun, at dusk, and under the lights.
We went through the biggest transitions of lights, the hardest probably the first run where we had, extreme sunlight to darkness right through one and two. And out of all of them, the nighttime was the easiest, no transitions there. But I think for us, it was basically seeing if there was going to be glare issues or anything with the lights that were going to affect where we are. But no, everything looks very good and very happy. And kudos to the Verizon IndyCar Series for getting it out there and running it.